Tonight, we have an exclusive interview with America's favorite murderer, Karen Reed. No question is off limits.
Little did I know, I'd reconnect with someone I had dated nearly 20 years earlier, and then he would be tragically killed, murdered, and I've been framed for it.
Whatever happened to that brain tumor you had anyway? Cured?
I'm not dying, but he's here with me and he's dying. I felt cold, but I didn't feel dangerously cold.
So you were pretty schlammed. You had, 9 drinks?
I had felt like I had alcohol. I felt that I had a buzz.
9 hours later and you were still over the legal limit.
I'm gonna go back to the bars.
Can you think of anybody that would want to hurt John, who had a problem with John?
I would call him the patron saint of Canton. He was just very selfless, frugal.
You're loser.
Is that you?
I think you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone that didn't care for John.
I think we found one person.
And there's many of them
All
involved.
the people that think he's a patron saint of Canton murdered him and covered it up?
I said, can we make sure we're welcome here? And McCabe invited us to the Albert. Nobody extended the invite to me.
And McCabe invited
I
us.
didn't hear the invite extended to you.
Jen McCabe invited us.
So I pull at the foot of the driveway. It's snowing. John has no coat on. It's windy. So I drop him off. He goes up the driveway and approaches the side door. And as I see him approach the door, I look down at my phone.
So did you really see him go into the house?
I look down at my phone.
Then what happened?
I see him open the door and put his head inside. And I'm like, all right, he's gonna yell to me or he's gonna come out and get me. And approaches the side door. Approaches the front door. And approaches the side door. And was worried he might have gotten hit by a plow.
Your first thought in your head was he got hit by a plow?
He says, I remember, all right, backing up and hitting something.
What else could have been? It was howling wind. I had YouTube blasting on the stereo. And I thought, did he somehow try to flag me down, which was the reaction I was hoping to garner as I slowly pulled away from the house. Did he come out and maybe trip or bend over to pick up his cell phone and I ran over his foot and then he passed out drunk? I mean, I didn't think I hit him, but could I have clipped him?
Might have clipped him when he stuck his head in the door? What do you mean? So if you did see him go inside the house, why did you call back 20 minutes later and ask where he was? Did you forget?
He didn't look mortally wounded as far as I could see.
He didn't look mortally wounded? Oh, girl, you done effed up. Don't worry, we'll cut this part out.
Okay, you said selected quantity of information. Who selected that information?
As far as I'm concerned, it would be the Department of Justice and the FBI.
All right, and they just gave you what they wanted to give you?
Drive around in the 2 square miles that we spent the preceding night.
So you did see his body then?
Who did it? We don't know.
We don't know. We know who did it, Steve. We know. We don't know.
We don't know. And it's not for us to know.
And we know who spearheaded this cover-up. You all know. I don't know the interconnections, the interpersonal relationships among these people. And we know who spearheaded this cover-up.
Somebody other than Karen. Somebody other than Karen is responsible for that, for the killing of John.
John is dead.
Dad, I think I struck something.
And I just collapsed on the floor.
I didn't see any actual tears, but
I answered the phone and she said, John's dead.
Because he's dead.
They found Johnny in the snow this morning.
Karen Reed was there. She was being restrained by hospital employees.
she kept saying, this is all my fault. This is my fault. I did this.
How soon was it when you pulled in there that you saw John's body?
Immediately.
Because she knew where he was. And I dug his head out of the snow. Repeated, I hit him.
I hit him. I hit him. Oh my God, I hit him.
I hit him, I hit him, I hit him.
Was preceded by a did. Could I have hit him? And proceeded by a question mark.
Kind of running around screaming different things.
Could he be dead? Could be dead. And she said, could I have hit him?
Several times I hit him. I hit him.
Could I have hit him? Did I hit him? But I did not feel it was unsafe for me to be operating my vehicle. Could I have hit him? Did I hit him? Did not kill John O'Keefe. I've never marked the hair on John O'Keefe's head.
Well, there was the one hair that we know was on her car. Why do I look so blurry? There's some like filter or something on, I think. How is everyone? So I saw that her federal petition was denied. Saw the witness list. Proctor's hearing was today. I don't know if we heard anything about that yet. Let me see. Oh, touch up my appearances on. I don't like that. Okay, now it's off. All right, so the witness list. A lot of them are the people that we expect, right? But let's go through it because there are some that are, I mean, it suggests that Brennan is going all in. He is going scorched earth. He's not going to be protecting these attorneys because, you know, if Turtle Boy is a witness, if Stephen Scanlon is a witness, that implicates David Yannetti and Alan Jackson, who are communicating with them. So it's going to be pretty interesting. And I mean, that's the way to get in all of the text messages, all the extractions from Turtle Boy's phone. You know, it's going to be a nightmare for those attorneys because, you know, their reputation, like everything is on the line because who knows what they were saying I mean, they're probably smart enough not to put like terrible things in text messages, but the fact that, you know, Turtle Boy did turn up with a lot of evidence from this case that was not public. Obviously someone was giving it to him. And, you know, there was a directed harassment campaign against all the witnesses. That was clear as day. The federal investigation turned out to be a ruse that was started by Karen and David Yannetti, and it turned up nothing. You know, they got all of the discovery that was found on their side was either from the federal investigation, so all the text messages and stuff, or stuff from Turtle Boy and his swamp donkeys, like Colin Albert's like Snapchat, like that kind of stuff that probably shouldn't even have been allowed in the trial in the first place, because they didn't establish a real third-party culprit defense. So bringing in that stuff, if Colin Albert was like the third party, then that's what, you know, all that stuff should have been supported and would have been brought in, but like they didn't target him as the third party culprit. So like it is strange that it actually got into the trial, I think, in my opinion. And I'm not a legal person, so it's just an opinion. So the list, let's look at the list. And this list is, you know, they don't have to call everyone. I think last time they had a lot of people on the list and they didn't call everybody. So obviously Brian Albert, the homeowner, you know, he's going to be called. It would be interesting if this was the order. It probably won't be, but so Brian Jr., I mean, I think Brian Jr. and Caitlin, they try to drag into like, oh, you know, one of the medics. I mean, are they going to do that again? Like, that's embarrassing. Like, I felt like that was so embarrassing. Didn't they bring the medic back too to say like, oh, we found a picture of you? I think they wanted to. I don't remember if she allowed it or not. We found a picture of you together last year or something at a mutual friend's baby shower. But wasn't that the whole testimony the whole time? Was that they had a lot of mutual friends because they grew up in Canton, graduated the same year in high school, and they were mutual friends. So then they were at a baby shower for a mutual friend, but they have no other pictures since. So like, it kind of shows that she was telling the truth. But like the Turtle Boy freaks want to be like, oh, she was lying. Arrest her. Perjury. God. And, you know, Katie McLaughlin, I thought she was like, I mean, I think it's just like, you know, for people that do this kind of work, they are not going to be risking their livelihood and everything to lie for somebody. Like, it's, I don't know, it's wild that they're even thinking this. But here we are in the land of the Turtle Boy defense, and I mean that's what it is, and that's why I think it's great that she's calling it, that he's going to call Turtle Boy. I think he should be probably the last witness for the prosecution, because I think it will show clearly that all of these people, the medics, the Camaranos, the Alberts, like these are all like decent human beings, and then we're going to see the scum of the earth with Turtle Boy and Nathan Reed, and the jury's going to be like, oh, those are the people that are on her side, and we're supposed to believe they're telling the truth, but we're supposed to believe all these like normal people that, you know, have honorable livings, are lying, right? And Turtle Boy should be scared. I mean, he should be petrified, because he's probably going to have to plead the fifth on the stand, right? Because he's going anything that he says in this trial can be used against him. And so, yeah, if he pleads the fifth, that will look bad. It will look bad. That would be bad for Karen Reed. But it would be good for him, because he doesn't want to implicate himself further. This could be pressuring Turtle Boy to cut a deal, to say, like, you're going to testify honestly, and we won't go after you, or we'll drop whatever. They'll make some deal with him, which I think would be in his best interest, but he's not that bright. So who knows? He's probably going to get up on the stand and think that he can outsmart everybody, even though he's not bright whatsoever. But who knows? Because he's a narcissist too, and he loves this. Like, I think he's scared, but I think he's excited. Like, he wants to be on the spotlight. He wants to be on the national TV. He's mad that he's not like doing the court TV, that Nick Rocco's doing it instead. Like, he wants this, and you know, he's going to jail for it. So let him have his moment. Let's see. All right. So these three, the Alberts. Let's see. Who else do we have? Chris Albert. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger, smaller. All right, so then Chris Albert, Colin Albert, Julie Albert. I don't think anything new from any of them, but like, they're not going to be able to surprise them like they were the first time. So like, the same thing with, I don't think Brian Albert was surprised on anything. Brian Albert, he already knows about the phone stuff. I mean, he already knows. Like, there's no element of surprise this time. And Caitlin Albert, like, she knows that they're going to be like, oh, are you more than acquaintances? Whatever. She knows. So Chris Albert, I thought he was like a really good witness. I didn't think they got him on anything. Like, we were all told about Colin throwing beer cans on the lawn. I just assumed it was true. I think a lot of people did, that maybe he was a little punk. But it's still like, nobody that has a legitimate brain would think that would rise to the occasion, that like Colin Albert was harboring this resentment towards this adult that told him to get off his lawn, and that he just wanted to beat that guy up. And when he got the chance, he did it. Like, I don't think a normal person would ever think that. I mean, when you're a punk teenager, even if he is a punk, we don't really know if he is or not. Maybe he is, who knows? But if you're a punk teenager, you're not harboring resentment for adults that yell at you. Trust me, I used to be a punk teenager, and I wasn't mad. I thought it was just part of my MO, was to fight with people, or not fight, but argue, and be a little punk. And so I don't like, no one's harboring resentment over it. Julie Albert, the only thing that they caught her on was like how many times she talked to Courtney Proctor. Was it Courtney? Wait, yes, Courtney Proctor. But now she knows. She didn't know how many phone calls she made. Now she knows. So you know, and they're gonna be like, oh, what did you talk about on this date like 2.5 or 3 years ago? Do you remember what you talked about? Like, no. I just feel like in general, they should just be like, everyone in town was gossiping about this murder that happened. We don't have murders in Canton. So yes, everybody was gossiping about it. And I was not, you know, in Julie Albert's case, like she can just say I was not like getting into the details of, you know, what Courtney Proctor's husband, like brother knew, but come on, everyone was obviously talking about this. So I mean, it's definitely like fodder for town gossip. I think I was like walking around Canton. People are still all talking about this. It's been 3 years. And like that's what it is. Like I can walk around Canton Town Center and this is all I hear about. Like I'll hear conversations as people walk by. This is what they're talking about. They're talking about Brian Albert. They're talking about this, talking about that. So like give me a goddamn break. And that should be like their response. That yes, everybody was talking about it. It wasn't just Courtney, it was everybody. Everybody wanted to know everything. They wanted to know, like, you know, what happened, because at first it was the, you know, an accident, right? Nicole Albert, I thought was a really good witness. I didn't think that they got her on anything. You know, I think she reacted well to all of the weird questions. I think she got irritated. I think Eliza, is that her name, Elizabeth or Eliza? A Little. I just always say like Miss Little because that's what Judge Canoni always calls her. But she was getting very annoyed with her because she's like asking her about the dog, but I thought it was like a justified irritation because it was like a ridiculous line of question. How many steps does it take to get to the basement? Like all kinds of weird stuff. About the Ford Edge. Oh, did you try to hide that someone had a Ford Edge? Which it's hard to even know because we don't know the timeline of when the information was coming in, because the Ford Edge thing didn't come out until like Turtle Boy's article with Lucky Loughran. And that's going to be part of Turtle Boy's questioning, right? Because how did he all of a sudden know to get to Lucky Loughran? Because the defense gave it to him. They gave him his number and everything. And, you know, his story, Lucky Loughran's story has changed multiple times. So, you know, this was a big thing. So witnesses that come out of the woodwork, like later, I just think it's strange. Like if the private investigator really did talk to him and he got that information, why wasn't that pushed right away? Why did it not come out until it came through Turtle Boy? Because they didn't think it was legitimate. If they thought it was a real legitimate thing, I think they would have pursued it immediately, right? They would have brought it up immediately and, you know, got someone on it, you know, followed up with it, but they didn't. They just kept it in their back pocket because they knew whatever it was like not that reliable. So Stephen Bernstein, keeper of records. I don't know. Does anyone know what this guy? I don't remember what he did. I don't remember. I don't know anything about him. So if anyone knows, shout it out and I will put it up here. I don't know Caitlin Boudreau either. Yeah, these two, I don't know. Caitlin Boudreau. Caitlin. I was thinking it was like Caitlin Albert got married or something, but no, Caitlin Albert's listed. Oh, Boudreau is Nathan Reed's wife. Oh, this is a good one. She's getting black. I'm color coding these two so that I remember when the trial comes up. So I think it's like intimidator. Something like that. Okay. So next morning. Tail light. Oh, that's exciting. Yeah, I wonder, is he divorced now? Like, why is her name different? She saw the broken tail light. I mean, I think there's a good chance she's going to tell the truth. But like, even if, like, what is she going to say? Oh no, all the red was there? She's not going to say that. Like, she's going to say, like everybody else, like there was a piece missing, it was broken. Like, no one walked over and inspected it and dug the snow out to see what was missing and what wasn't, right? And oh, did you guys see that guy on YouTube that was like breaking the taillight and being like, it's red no matter what? I mean, it's red no matter what. Yeah. I think that hurts her more than anything, because they were saying that means that the red pieces were still there because the lights were red. And so that guy kind of destroyed that argument, right? So he smashes out the taillight, and like the LEDs themselves it's like amber. It's not like red, but it's amber. And so Free Karen Reed is totally ignoring that their whole argument was the whole time that the red pieces were there. That's why it was red. They forgot that they were saying that for a year. Temple Bath. That's what I was thinking, something about the video. So let's just put that for now. But when he broke the light, so now they're saying, oh, Hank Brennan lied because he said, look, you can see white peeking through. And the judge was like, yeah, because they're always red. The thing is, it's not necessarily the lights, because it's all reflective. It's all mirrors in there, right? So like in the morning when you see the white, it's reflecting the probably the spotlight that's outside his garage, and that's why it's white, and that's why it goes dark once she drives out of that area, because it's a reflective material. That's the white. It's not the white coming from the lights. So necessarily, like it could be capturing light from somewhere else, and that's how they're designed. But I don't know. So then we have the Cameranos. We know what they're going to testify to. The Cameranos, Katie was getting calls from Karen early in the morning. I think Michael went to McCarthy's with John O'Keefe. His son lost a tooth or something, and then he had to leave early, and that's why he like left that night. I think he left before Karen got there, or maybe he saw Karen. I can't remember. But he was at McCarthy's. So I don't know. Richard Dan. Oh, is that the one that was driving the truck that was out front? That's who I think. Ricky. I think that's who it is. Car out front. Keeper of record. This might have something to do with the videos as well. I don't know. Jean DeMollis. Well, there was a motion. So wonder if Nathan Reed's fraud case regarding stealing money from Bristol Community College in Fall River will come out. There wasn't a ruling on it, but I think it was, I can't remember which side asked for it, but one side asked for any, that they couldn't bring up criminal records. I know for sure Karen brought it up, like Karen's side brought it up. And I was thinking it was for Rick Green so that his arrest couldn't come out. It might be about this though. It could be about this too. And then I think the other side also had something similar where it was like only if it was a conviction can you bring it up. So you can't use prior bad acts to like impeach witnesses. So she didn't rule on it, but who knows? We'll see. I mean, it would be nice to be able to bring that up. Just to be like, look, these are the people that Karen hangs out with, all right? Her brother was robbing the goddamn community college, and Turtle Boy, just Google him. That's all. Yep, that's I agree. Nathan's case cannot come in without a conviction. I haven't seen her any rulings come in. I think that she's probably gonna allow arguments for everything, I would assume. She usually does. But we shall see. Karen says she didn't know any of the people from that night. Please explain how she had all of their phone numbers. I don't think she did. I'm trying to think of. I know she had Higgins' number, right? Because she was sexting him. But she had to get Jen McCabe's number from the niece. But in her new documentary that's coming out Monday, so she was saying she wasn't invited. Remember, she was saying, so every single interview she does is like completely conflicted. So she didn't know if she was welcome. She wasn't invited directly. That's the reason that she sat in the car and had John go in. That's one story. But now in the new documentary, she's saying she saw Jen McCabe 2 to 3 times a week because they were always like their daughters were friends and they were always together. She was driving her places. And so it was very, she was very familiar with Jen McCabe. And, you know, there was witnesses at the bar that said Jen McCabe was like, you're coming with me, Karen, and trying to get Karen to go in the car with her to go to Fairview. So there was no intention of just having John alone at Fairview ever by anybody. And in that new one too, she's saying, and we never heard this before, this is a new part of the story. Well, we kind of knew because he was found with the glass. But she's like, when he got out of my car, he took my full glass of vodka soda that was in my cup holder. But it's like, what? Because her whole side was arguing that that glass came from inside the Albert's house. I mean, it's crazy. Crazy. So now she's saying that it was her vodka soda. But that makes me think like, okay, but he was seen carrying a glass leaving the bar. So, like, did she have a glass too? Because I don't think there was footage of her, or it wasn't clear where she was like leaving the bar. So, were there 2 glasses? Is that why she killed him? Because he took her vodka soda that was full and she's driving around with it in her cup holder? Like, that is insane to me. It is so insane that she is leaving the bar at 12:30 after drinking like 8, 7, 8. That might have been the 9th vodka. So maybe she didn't drink it. Maybe that's why the Commonwealth is wrong. The 9th vodka was in the cup holder and John took it. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And then she's saying he has to blow off steam. And that's why we do it, because it's better for everybody when he blows off steam. And like, no one's ever said anything like that about John O'Keefe, that he has an anger issue or anything like that. So it's really odd that she's saying that. I mean, she's just such a nut. And like, even in our text messages, he was the one saying to her, like, you're jonesing to drink. And she wanted to drink at like 2 in the afternoon. So, I mean, it sounds like she's the one that has to blow off some steam. It sounds like this night she did blow off some steam. So this keeper of record, I'm trying to think of what other keeper of, I mean, there's probably other records. I don't know. I don't know if it's video. It might be all about the video. I'll just put video for now. All right. So Brian Higgins, she tried to slam. I mean, he's not going to have any surprises this time. They surprised him. I don't know. Was he surprised by anything last time? I mean, we went through all his texts. Oh, yeah. Louis Jutras. Is that the guy from the bar? I know there was like, I remember the woman from the bar with the black hair. She's the one that said like everyone was invited and Jen McCabe had her arm around Karen, was like, come with me, come with me. So Louis Jutras. I don't know who that is, but that sounds kind of familiar. Jutras. I could try to Google. Oh, Information Systems Manager, Town of Canton. Okay, that's what he does. So that might be more about the videos too. It's all about the goddamn videos. All right, so then we got, so the big question with Paula O'Keefe's niece is, how old is she now? Is she old enough to testify on camera? Because I think that she's probably one of the most powerful witnesses, because she saw violence in the home, or fighting, and she was woken up. She was the first person that Karen went to in that morning, and witnessed her calling all different people, telling different stories. And I can't think of how old she was at the time, but now it's like this happened in 2022. It's 2025. So I don't know. She could be 17 now. I don't know. Not old enough. She's listed as a juvenile. Too bad. I mean, not that it's going to change anything for the jury, but I feel like public perception. Anytime I see kids testifying, I mean, they're not sophisticated enough to lie for the most part. And like, I don't know. I just think they come off as like very honest, and it's very like telling. Diane Downs' daughter that testified against her. I don't know. I saw some girl testify about this man that like stabbed her in the neck. Like he killed everyone else in the house and she lived. I don't know what the hell I was watching, but it was like juveniles are very, I think they have a lot of impact. So Turtle Boy, I mean, this is going to be, there's just so much. I mean, who knows? They're going to be able to ask, like, when did you first talk to David Unetti? When did you first talk to, like, who's going to cross-examine him? I mean, because it's going to be, they're going to have to direct examine him. They're going to ask about all the questions about Unetti and Jackson and Karen, and like when you talk to them, when you learn this, when you learn that. They're going to confront with text messages, I'm sure, if it's allowed in. And it's going to be interesting. Speaking of ages, I just thought of this. I don't know why, but I saw like some video of Alan Jackson when he was like younger. Someone posted it. And he still looked like, he did look a lot different, but he looked younger. And I was like, wait, how old is he? Alan Jackson is almost 60. I thought he was the same age as Karen. He's 59. And I was just shocked. I thought he was like Karen's age. And, not that he like looks good for his age, or I don't know. Maybe he does. He probably gets Botox and stuff. He's in LA. But I just was very surprised that he's 59. I don't know how old is David Unetti? I mean, I thought that they were all around the same age. So Sarah Levinson, I thought she was, she didn't see anything. Like there really wasn't much for her testimony, but they tried to be like, oh, did you ever like go in a hot tub with Colin Albert? I just remember that part. Like there was nothing. She didn't see anything. I don't think she saw the car outside. I think she just testified to like, when did this person leave? And she's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know if but she seems sweet and honest. Heather Maxon, she's Ryan Nagel's ex-girlfriend. She was in the car in front. I thought she was a really good witness because she has no relation to anybody. She was very observant. She saw a man and a woman in the car. She, knew that nobody got out of the car. I thought she was a really good witness. So the McCabe's, obviously, we know. Jen McCabe is the one that's in everything. And that's the reason why they go after her the most, because not only was she with Karen in the morning, but she was at the waterfall. She was the one that invited them. She was at the birthday party. So she was like the linchpin keeping everyone together. And it's just like, Karen can't say she didn't know she was invited. John was literally on the phone with Jen McCabe, right? Like 2 minutes before they got there. So why would he have to go in and check? Like, it's just, come on. Yeah, now Matt McCabe, they're trying to say, oh, he's the one that Googled how long to die in cold. I think Truth and Transparency is saying that. She's like, I can prove it. There's a few of those wackos that are trying to prove that Matt McCabe's the one that Googled it now. So it'll be really interesting to see if they try to do that at trial. I don't know. I just think it's like such a moot point at this point that who gives a shit? Like, it was Googled obviously the next morning. The software developer said it. They're not going to like trash their business just to like convict Karen Reed. Nobody gives a shit about that. Like people whose job are going to protect their livelihood first, right? People don't generally have a vendetta against anybody. They want to tell the truth. They want to like protect their business, and so protecting the business is important. So when you think about the Celebrite guy, he wants to make sure his software is getting represented correctly. He's not going to say it does something that it doesn't. He wants to make sure that it's still the top, most reliable software, right? And similar to the ARCA experts, they came to that conclusion. Their job, they are litigation consultants. Their job is to go before a jury and defend the conclusion that they came to. You know, they didn't have all the evidence, but they're still on that side. And that's what these experts do. I think that some experts do have integrity. Some experts are like, well, I can talk about alternatives to what could have happened, right? Not really saying like that's my absolute conclusion, and still offer an alternative perspective of what could have happened, right? Without blatantly lying. But the experts that she got, Rick Green, especially the dog bite lady, like they lack credibility. Like they have the background to testify about what they're saying, but they just, ugh. I don't know. The ARCA experts were a step up, and that's the thing. Without this federal investigation, they would have had nothing. They would have had no text messages from anybody, but they wouldn't have the ARCA experts, and nothing. They would have nothing. Like everything was just like internet rumors. So now Bridget Meehan. Let's see who this is. Bridget Meehan. It's probably another goddamn. Who knows if they're gonna call these people? I hope not. Because if we're like. That's the thing that the defense did last time, is that they kind of forced Lally to spend so much time disproving all these random theories. And they're trying to do that again. Now it's going to be focused on the goddamn videos. I don't recognize her, but it looks like, if this is her. Is that her? Let me see. It says keeper of record. I'm just seeing, I don't recognize her though. Nurse practitioner, Rochester, Vermont. Is that who this is? Oh, she's the records custodian from Waterfall. Okay. Probably Waterfall videos and receipts or something. So Julie Nagel, we know her. She had a big attitude with Yannetti. I thought she was very entertaining. She was a wise ass. I mean, I think she was fine. Ryan Nagel, the car out front, I think he was fine too. You know, that was the one person that they tried to run with. Like he's the one that actually like exonerated Karen because he didn't see anyone in the car. But like, yeah, he's the one, but his sister's inside. Wouldn't it be like Heather Maxson or the guy that was driving that had no relation to anybody that would have been like, I didn't see her, like telling, you know, the truth? But no, he just didn't see her because he didn't look. So like, come on. All right, so we got Paul O'Keefe, Aaron O'Keefe. I was not expecting, but I was like wondering if they were going to call Peggy O'Keefe. But she's not on the list. And from my perspective, if this was one of my family members, I would want to testify. If I had anything to offer, like I would want to. She might not want to. They might just think it's repetitive because Paul O'Keefe and Aaron O'Keefe are already going to be there. I mean, I've seen a lot of trials where the mother wants to testify and she will testify, and it's. So then we have Nathan and William Breed. I mean, oh, it's going to be epic if they really get all these people. Oh, yeah, Natalie. They should call Natalie. So these two, it's going to be interesting because I don't know. There might be things about Alexa. Who knows? I mean, Nathan Reed's probably the one that sold her the murder weapon, right? So, I mean, that could be like a big thing. Not that it's really going to change anything, but it would be an interesting dialogue because it's going to make him uncomfortable. But yeah. And William Reed, it's probably going to be mainly about that morning, what she said. I mean, he was on Ted Daniels saying that she said this and that. So yeah, let's hear what she said. Because what he said to Ted Daniels did not make sense. That she was complaining about her taillight, saying that she backs up and hit something as her boyfriend's dying in the hospital. Nobody would give a shit. Like, I have like backed into things and not said a word about it to anybody because it didn't even faze me. If it's just a ding to my car, like, that's not something that I would even waste too much energy about. But if there was like a traumatic thing that happened, like, there's no way in hell I would even think of that. I would completely forget about it. So, I mean, it's very obvious that that was a centerpiece of her conversation with everybody that morning. She had Carrie and Jen look at it. She told Gretchen Voss that she had them look at it. She said it to her father. She said it to, she said it. Carrie Roberts had a lot of testimony about it. Because Carrie Roberts was on the phone and was following and could hear inside the car. And Karen was saying it. And she was looking at the taillight as Karen was talking about it. And then when they got back to the house, they all looked at it. So, yeah. So Kurt Roberts and Carrie Roberts. So I think he was either he didn't go or he was invited and didn't go. I can't remember if he went. I don't know if did he testify? I can't even remember. It might have been like a very short thing. And then Carrie Roberts, we know her. She's a very powerful witness. Stephen Scanlon. I mean, this is going to be epic to see this, because this is going to it's going to implicate David Yannetti, because David Yannetti is the one that came out and said, "Oh, this man told me that Colin Albert did," and he doesn't even know who the freak Colin Albert is. Like, that's going to be epic if he gets that. Oh, I hope Hank Brennan calls him. Please call this guy. I mean, I kind of feel like Stephen Scanlon should have spoken up a long time ago. I know he lawyered up right away once, the information came out through the Turtle Boy article. Yeah, I think he should have been called first time. I mean, I just don't understand why he hasn't said anything publicly besides that call with like Turtle Boy. Because if that was me, I would be going to Ted Daniels or someone and being like, this is actually what happened, because he's not under any like, criminal penalty, I would want to clear up exactly what happened to make sure that I didn't look like I was going along with, this scam. I would be like, no. Like, especially after reading that article, like, I'd be like, damn, David Yannetti did me dirty. This is actually what happened. David Yannetti's a scumbag. Like, I mean, come on. All right, then we get the Sullivan sisters. The Aruba incident. So right now, I believe Ian Whiffen is on the list. I think he might be under. So this is just civilian witnesses right now. I mean, he's kind of a civilian witness, but I think he might be in a different category. I don't know who this is. Rebecca Trayers. Oh, she might be the one from the bar, the bartender or something. Yep, she's the bartender at Waterfall. Michael Trotta, I think he was the one. Oh, no, he's not the surveillance video. He is the plow organizer or whatever, the plow manager or something. Why don't they call Lucky get him on direct examination? I wonder. And then Gretchen Voss. Gretchen Voss was on the list last time. They never called her. But I think that Gretchen Voss is very, she comes off as very credible. I think she's a good witness. And like, if you just think about like, we're going to compare Gretchen Voss to Turtle Boy, like she is a real credible journalist. You know, all of these people have a lot of credibility. Like the sketchier ones are the ones that are kind of on the Karen Read side. The defense, I think the defense will call Lucky, but I feel like, you know, I don't know, just get him out of the way because then you can have his testimony come in when you want it and not land right at the end. Like because like the way that the trial like goes through, to take the effect of the defense at the end, maybe. I think his testimony is not that important, so I would like mix it in with like the plow stuff. You know, like a lot of the boring testimony, just squeeze him in there, and then he'll be forgotten about. All right, so fire department. I don't remember each. Jason Becker. I remember Fulmati. He definitely heard I hit him. Matthew Kelly. I think he was the young one that said she was erratic. Hit him. Francis Walsh. I can't remember what he testified to. I know that all of their testimony was good because a lot of them said that they couldn't see the body from the truck until they got out of the truck, which was huge because how did Karen Read see him? Like these trucks, like fire trucks and ambulances have a lot of lights on them, but somehow Karen could see him when there wasn't a group of people standing around him. They couldn't even see him when there was people there. So yeah, I believe maybe he drove the ambulance or something. These two were the sectioned Karen, I think. Oh, maybe this was the one. This is the one. So Daniel Whitley. Okay, yeah, these three are the sectioned ones. So Daniel Whitley, I think he's the one that like started bringing up that she started talking shit about Kerry Roberts, and like he was interrupted. They didn't let him give that testimony. That she started saying like, I'm not taking care of those damn kids. Like that's her first thought as she's getting sectioned. And this one said, he's the one that said the last time that Karen talked to him, they were in a fight. So that was like the whole domestic violence thing. Because if you kill someone in a rage, it's automatically, well, not automatically, but it's potentially a second-degree murder. So that's this guy. So he's important. She also was asking, I hit him. Oh yeah, Daniel Whitley. She also asked how long to die in cold. Fighting last time they talked. And then this guy was the one that said, I didn't see any tears. Canton PD. So there's so many witnesses about those goddamn videos now. He's the one that like downloads them or something. And like, I just feel like it's such a waste of freaking time. So Paul Gallagher. Okay, Gallagher was a good witness. He was the one, I think he did the snowblower, whatever, snow leaf blower. I thought he was good. I think he had a good answer for everything. Sergeant Good. I think he also said no tears. He went into the house with Link, interviewed Alberts. Stephen Mullaney. Stephen Mullaney. I can't remember what he did. I know that name sounds so familiar. I gotta look at his face. Maybe I'll remember. Oh, I didn't see. Oh, Steven Seraph. So he's the one that said, she's like, how long I did this or something. I did this. It's all my fault. So Stephen Mullaney. I don't know. I'm reading like something about Turtle Boy's articles coming up, and I'm just like, oh my god. So Stephen Mullaney graduated with Seraph. What did he testify to, though? Oh, he wrote one of the reports. So he must have been a first responder too. Yeah, he has one of the reports. So report on I hit him. Helena Rafferty, Canton. I don't know, what is she? Chief of police. This is gonna be about the freaking goddamn videos too. Ray Charles. I don't remember Ray Charles. See what he looks like. That's Lank. Trying to see if I can see a picture. I mean, so this comment. Last time, if I remember correctly, some jurors were afraid to give a verdict because of the cult. So, like, this statement has evolved. All of these statements, I think, came from Ronnie, the juror. So, like, he's the one that interviewed with Phelps, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but a lot of the stuff that he said was very similar. So, I don't even remember this guy. This is Ray Charles, though. But so he's afraid of the cult. He was afraid like of driving home. Someone was following him, but now he's like, he believed it was the conspiracy. Like, what? The guy is just so inconsistent. Like, he's just, what a terrible person. It's Charles Ray. Oh, Charles Ray. I don't remember what he testified to. Oh well. What else we got here? Oh, spaghetti. Ugh. I've never seen this picture before. I need this one. Oh, it's not even, I can't save it from here. All right, I need that for later. Get out of here, you fugly woman. All right, so he's just Canton PD, I guess. What is RET? Brian Wanless. Was he that blonde, like really young one that like didn't notice anything? I just always like think Yannetti Spaghetti. Yannetti Spaghetti. I'm guessing he's like, oh, retired. Does that mean retired? Maybe. I don't know. The Needham Police Department. What is this about? Do you guys know? Needham. Like, why the Needham Police Department? Brian Gallerani? Did you see the ridiculous super scientist smash the headlight in his garage? Yes, I was talking about this. So the cult is all of a sudden saying the lights are always red, so that means that Hank lied when he said white was coming through. But the thing is, for the longest time, they were saying that the lights are clear, and in the morning when you see the red, that means that the red pieces are still there. So I think he proved that, our taillight was all smashed out completely. So, and they're like, how could we call him as a witness? They're like the dumbest people. I don't know what the Needham Police Department has to do with anything. In lieu of Barrows, I don't know. Was he there at the same time? Like Needham. So he's just unknown, I guess. Let me see if I can. Brian Gallerani. Needham Police Department. I don't recognize him. I don't know. It could be something to do. I mean, it might be someone else that saw her car that morning. But where do they live? They live in Dighton. Is Needham near Dighton? I don't even know where Needham. I don't even know these Fall River cities. I know Canton. I know Braintree. I know that kind of stuff, but I don't know this Fall River bullshit. Southern Massachusetts stuff. The cracked guy. The cracked guy is Barrows. So I don't see. Well, maybe we haven't gotten there yet, but I don't think I saw him on here. But the defense is definitely going to call him. I would assume, unless they like pre-interviewed him and he's like, "Oh, you didn't let me like finish," which I think could have happened. I think Lally could have gotten nervous and stopped asking him, and he was going to clarify. I feel like they could. Why can't they put a damn picture of the taillight up as a reference for the witnesses? I feel like they could. I just don't know. I mean, it would be like a chalk, I guess. They'd probably object though. It's hard to say that too, because the snow was all on it. Who knows? Oh, so Gallerani took the DNA swabs from Proctor. Okay. So he was the DNA collector. All right, so we got Mass State Police, Evan Brent. I don't remember him at all. Oh, are these? Oh, maybe he was the SART team. So some of these are probably... All right, so this is phone extraction. Kevin O'Hara, I think he was leading the SART team, right? Zachary Clark. I don't remember him. Yuri. I don't know. Is he Proctor's boss? I don't know if that's the right thing. Proctor's boss. Zachary Clark. I don't remember him. Joseph. Is this Trooper Paul? So he's accident reconstruction. Brian Tully. I think Brian Tully had a lot of good testimony. I just remember he was talking about the pattern abrasions, the pattern matched. The pattern match. I mean, I feel like that was one of the, and he like talked about the phone extraction. He had a few good things. I don't remember this one. Yeah, Tully was really good. I think he kind of just oversaw everything, so like he knew all the details. All right, so now we have the labs. So Bodie, Nicholas Bradford test chart. I think this is the hair. I guess Bodie probably did the hair and DNA. I think this is the dog DNA lady. Christina. She was the one that processed the car. Oh no, that was Maureen Hartnett. Christina Hanley. I think she was the one. I think she might have been the one that reconstructed the light. I don't know. I'm just going to stick it there for now, unless we know it's different. Reconstructed taillight. I need to open this up. Oh, God. They have a lot of these people. Hannah, Andre. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Sleuthy. Sleuthy is a goose. A goose. A big goose. Ashley Vaylor. I think I remember her. Damn, they had a lot of crime lab people. All right, so experts. Aperture LLC. Oh, Ashley Vaylor. Yes, if I am available at some of the sessions, I will join. Gallery. Hanley did the glass. Oh, the glass. And then aperture. Why am I not? Okay, so this is a forensic expert. Let's see if I can see her. I don't recognize. I think it's a guy. What would he be doing? Oh my God, why is this not opening? So it's this guy. I don't remember him. Well, I guess we don't know. I guess he's new. Oh, he's accident reconstruction. Da-na-na-na. Colleen Crawford. I don't remember that. So Colleen Crawford, that does sound familiar. Colleen Crawford, Miss Crawford. Crosby as dog bites. Oh, they filed a new motion to ask the judge to reconsider not allowing Dr. Crosby to testify, saying, well, our dog bite expert had to go through 2 days of voir dire and it's not fair. Blah, 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 blah. And hopefully she's just like, shove it. I think the big difference is that Crosby has testified about dog stuff and like hundreds of trials, and this lady never has. And she obviously just saw the thing online and wanted to talk about it. Weatherman. Mobile data. Gary Fowler. He's an expert witness. Gary Fowler. Oh, this might be about the blood alcohol. I'm guessing. Dog lady is going to get shredded. Dog lady is I don't even know. She was so much better though. The last, not really better, but she was so much more prepped. She still doesn't have any good answers for a lot of things, but she is a lot more prepped than she was originally. And that's what Alessi does. He helps liars lie. Okay, so this is all accident reconstruction people. Karen is so screwed. I hope she's looking at this list and realizing how screwed she is. Oh, he's the guy. Oh, that guy was the worst. I think I remember the MD who worked on John O'Keefe. Like he didn't prep or any, like he was like not, like he had to look at notes for everything. Like he had no idea. Tortured me. Torture. Oh God. So here's our ME. She basically just said anything on earth could have happened. Like what? So excited about Caitlin Boudreaux. I mean, who knows what will come out of it, because she did marry Nathan Reed. Just like, Turtle Boy. I was reading the article. I read part of the article, The Atlantic, about Turtle Boy. They're like, oh, they were two teachers and they got married. That makes them sound like they're a nice, wholesome family. But it's like, all right, well, he was a teacher that, kind of had to leave. And if she's a teacher that's okay with him, like, what does that say? I mean, I don't know. We can't be that honest to be with someone like that. Even if they're not really together, it doesn't matter. Justin Rice. Justin Rice, emergency medicine. Renee Stonebridge. Oh, I remember her. She was like the hippie, right? Oh, it's another aperture. Are they all doing accident reconstruction? My God. She is so screwed. She is screwed. Karen, you are screwed. You better just find like a country to move to that doesn't have... Oh, here's Ian Whiffen. Thank God. Wolf. Isaac Wolf. Miami Neuroscience Center. Was this a new one? He's a neurologist, but for who? What is he going to talk about? Maybe he's going to talk about Karen's brain tumor that she doesn't have. I mean, it could be. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, I think aperture definitely has to do with the vehicle data. I would think that, at proper accident reconstruction, you would take the vehicle data, you would take the physical evidence, and okay, so head injury. Did we have that before? Is that it? That's it. So who were we missing? I'm just trying to remember. So all these witnesses, there are a lot of experts. Aperture probably is very detailed. There's probably all kinds of. Oh yeah, Barrows. Did he get fired? I wonder if he's going to be on the defense list. No, Allie McCabe. Oh yeah, I noticed that too. So I wonder. I have not been paying attention to Discovery, so I wonder if Colin Albert did some kind of extraction from his phone or something. Because I remember they asked. Because he just had a screenshot the first time, or maybe they're not even going to go that direction. Barros was caught fraternizing with Free Karen Reed. Oh yeah, Tristan. The Aruba girls are here. So that's weird that Tristan wouldn't be called though. Maybe because he was like so argumentative. But Tristan, I feel like he's an important witness, I guess, because, only a few people left the 31st Fairview Road home that night. And he was one of the ones that, picked up Caitlin Albert and drove her home. So, but I mean, I think they do need to trim down the list a little bit and focus more. I mean, I don't even know why you'd call. I don't even think he really needs to call Chris Albert and Julie Albert or Colin Albert. Like, I wouldn't call any of them. Let the defense do it, because the defense has to direct examine them. They can't ask leading questions, and then you would get to cross-examine them. I mean, Chris Albert's a really good witness, though, so I can see why you would want him. I mean, Julie and Colin seemed like they seemed like nice people. I just thought Chris Albert, like everything that Chris Albert was like a really good witness, because I followed all of the conspiracies and stuff, and like everything that we thought was totally something different. And like his demeanor and his, just everything about him, it was like, he was not the person that we were told he was. And I think that was true for the Alberts. That was true. And I was like objectively looking at it too. And it was still, you hear so many things about these people. Like, I thought Colin Albert was beating the shit out of everybody every day. I thought that was his life, and then he's like, oh, I was never in a fight. So I think even trying to be objective, you hear these things over and over and over. It's really damaging these people's reputations. So I think the Alberts, all of them came off really well. True. He doesn't have to call the full list. I just think he doesn't, like, if you look at the strategy that they used at the last trial, I think that at one point the judge was like, Lally, you need to wrap it up. And he didn't get to call as many people. I think that Brennan needs to prioritize her statements. So like call the parents, call that whole family. Let's see them. I think the 3 kids that were in the car out front of the house, I mean, I don't even know if I would call all 3 of them. I would call Heather Maxon, and I mean, I guess you got to call the guy that's driving too. But they all said something different about the car. Like, I don't know. That's how it is though with eyewitness testimony. Like they never all have the same story. They don't notice certain things. Different people are paying attention to different things. Turtle Boy, I mean, I think this is strategic. I mean, I think that, so one of the things that I was thinking about was like, is Turtle Boy's trial going to happen first? I was hoping that it would, so that then they could use whatever came out in that trial in this trial. And so, but what Hank is asking for, he's asking for all of the discovery from that trial to be used here. And he's calling Turtle Boy. So it's interesting. It really is interesting because Turtle Boy's gonna want to have to tell the truth. Something that he's not good at all. He's good at lying and lying and lying and repeating the lie so many times, and he has so many people that are echoing his lies that it has an influence, even on people that don't like him or don't agree with that side. It still has an influence. Before this, I was like, oh, maybe the Alberts are a bunch of bullies and whatever. Maybe Jen McCabe is really jealous of Karen. But like reality, like I didn't see any of these people before the trial. So like now I'm just like, oh my God, Karen is pathetic. And like I think a lot of people that were on the Karen Reed side kind of backed off after they saw the testimony. A lot of people DM'd me. A lot of people were like, oh, wow. Especially Jen McCabe's testimony, because she was supposed to be the big bad villain. And she seemed like the soccer mom that was stressed out and pissed off that her kids are being harassed. And I don't know. But that is the list, and I'm going to clean it up, and I don't know, I'll try to make it public somewhere. I got to think about how to do it. I got to remember what I have. But until next time, take care of yourself and each other.
You have to believe all of the McAlberts who testified. And so am I correct in saying that they found the McAlberts to be convincing witnesses and truth tellers?
Correct.
She stated to Miss McCabe, could I have hit him? Did I hit him?
She didn't say that. Who said? Jen McCabe says she said that.
I hit him. I hit him. I hit him.
The firefighter said that she said that too.
Who's the firefighter?
Repeated, I hit him.
Katie McLaughlin, who's her best friend?
She's not a close personal friend of mine.
John O'Keefe and Karen Reed never entered my house.
12 people didn't see a guy go in the house. Like, that's what you were relying on.
12 people also didn't see a body when they left.
I did notice something out of the ordinary, like a black blob in the ground by the flagpole. I also was not looking out my window.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Did anybody in this courtroom ask you if you were looking out your window?
I wouldn't be staring at her grass, so no.
Okay. I didn't ask you where you were staring.
Karen, we saw you outside of my sister's.
I saw the black SUV arrived.
There was another vehicle in front of us.
Up the hill towards us?
On the same road coming from the opposite direction.
It was a black SUV.
I've noticed a male and a female in the car.
A car length and a half in front of me.
There was another car that I hadn't recognized before. It was a dark SUV.
Saw it pull up, stopped, pulled up again, stopped, pulled up again by the flagpole, stopped. That's all I saw.
Just turned around and looked through the blinds.
It wasn't going 50 miles an hour, correct?
I mean, I didn't have a radar gun on me, but no.
Goes up the driveway and approaches the side door.
0 people have said that they saw him enter the home.
Because he's dead.
And at any point in time, did you see anybody exit from that vehicle at any point?
No.
You never saw anyone around the SUV, correct? Correct.
Ryan Nagel didn't see him go in the house because he ran. Because he was real quick. Because he ran because it was cold out.
He must have ran real fast.
That makes sense to a lot of people. What doesn't make sense to anyone?
His phone did not enter that home.
Oh, really? Actually, did.
That address. One of those individuals is dead and the other individual is alive. Ultimately, and there's damage to the vehicle, then that individual must be responsible for.
So he was going up and down the stairs between 12:21 and 12:24.
But Waze says he didn't get there till 12:24.
The Waze does not say that.
They were with the ascending, descending stairs.
What the defense presented was concrete evidence by the most highly credentialed people and experts in this country.
There were also some puncture wounds in that shirt.
No! I'm sorry, puncture wounds in the shirt?
Puncture holes.
Are you aware that Celebrite has had to modify their software based on misinterpretation of data, as you've done in this case?
Yes.
No!